looking at the 4 billion potential consumers and who are at the base of the pyramid, it implies for some companies, for instance in the nutrition, that they revisit radically some of the business model they're used to in developing countries, but when it's about operating there in emerging countries, they really look at, with the people like Yunus and others, new types of models.
That's right.
Is that something Microsoft is also putting on the rails?
Yeah, in fact, I've got a new division that we started a few years ago called the Unlimited Potential Group, and their job is to actually, in some cases, build products specifically for these emerging markets. It's important to realize that these next 4 billion are not all bottom of the pyramid. In fact, the way Microsoft thinks in very simple terms is each country has 3 demographic groups, which we simply define as the top group has a lot of disposable income, the middle group has some disposable income, and the bottom group has no disposable income. All right? And so, the question is, how do you develop technologies that can sell to the middle group? We've always been selling to the top group. And is there a way where, through welfare activities of NGOs, philanthropies, or government, that the middle class product can actually be introduced to support this self-help need of the people who really are at the bottom of the pyramid. And so, but this group, so sometimes they actually build new products, but they have spent an equal amount of time re-engineering our existing products and offering them under different business models. Today, our business primarily has been driven by licensing or subscriptions in the case of larger enterprises. And in the rich world, we never had advertising as a way to provide a monetization system, and we've been moving to add that in this more internet-driven economy. But when you go into these other places, things like cell phones show that people, if the acquisition cost can be low, or in fact can be essentially financed, in return for some recurring revenue stream, then that's interesting. Today, many of these people use our technology, so it isn't a question whether they even want it, but they pirate a lot of it because the business model we offer it under isn't conducive, to them buying it under the, what they think is an affordable price. And so in many cases, we could actually make more money in the aggregate by changing the business model or the financing of the product and not changing the product at all than we make today, by only having a component, a relatively small component of the market monetized at all, and the rest essentially stolen. And so these are the things that we look at in great detail.